We should make a Century 21 judge fight.
I bet we could do
pageant and have. I'm sure we have so many beautiful people that are in our company that would.
Well, and Bill has great experience in heels and
he
dresses.
could be the coach.
He does. Oh my gosh! If
true.
we can find the picture, we really need to put this.
There are
for the
plenty
world
of pictures of Bill dressing as a woman.
Didn't a magazine pick it up?
Well,
I happen to remember you being really upset because a real estate magazine.
I was in the centerfold of it.
Oh my gosh!
Don't be this broker.
The centerfold folded out like 4 times. So
it was. Yeah. So you said anybody could enter, right?
Yeah.
But I'm a little past 27.
And you're married.
And I'm married.
Let's have a chat, talk this and that with PB and Jaisy.
Hey guys, welcome to the PB and Jaisy podcast. I'm Jaisy George, the Jaisy to the PB and Jaisy sandwich, and here we have
the Sarah Pageant. I am the peanut butter, I guess.
All right, and I'm Bill Stedham. I'm the lucky bee sandwiched between today 3 beautiful women because we have with us.
Hi, yes, my name is Cassy Trickett.
So, guys, I have to be honest with you. Because preparing for this, because we have a pageant person here, a crown.
Pageant.
Yeah, we got a pageant and a pageant. I was like trying to think, okay, what are my experiences with pageants or anything? And I feel like they're just 2 extremes. So I've got Honey Boo Boo and,
Does that count?
toddlers in tiaras, which is just creepy to me to begin with. And then like Miss Universe, like Miss World, she's beauty, she's grace. I feel like you're a good kind of in between.
Are you calling her Honey Boo Boo?
Yeah, what? Isn't there supposed to be a wave going on right now?
Yeah, so I guess I can give you guys my little pageant wave.
So, Bill, do you even know what Honey Boo Boo is?
I have no clue what Honey Boo Boo is.
Please
know
Google that when you get home.
Oh
when
my
I get
goodness.
home,
It will change your life.
Okay.
Yes. Honey Boo Boo's got, her mom just juices her up with this like
Mountain
go-go juice. It's Mountain Dew and Red Bull, which sounds like it would be, add some.
And she's like 6.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah. And then she gets all like jacked up on Mountain Dew and then goes to these pageants and she wins sometimes.
Oh, wow.
But I feel like she's a hyper kid to begin with. And did y'all see Mama June? Her mom like lost all this weight.
A lot of weight.
But I don't think she was like doing 75 hard. I think she was
probably actually juicing.
She was probably crushing 75 hard cocaine rocks, really.
Oh, wow.
She was doing.
She couldn't have done it legally. There's no way. Unless she's listening, and then great job.
I'm sorry. Great job, Mama June. You look fantastic. You get it, girl. But yes, we are joined with Miss West Virginia teen.
Yes.
Cassy Trickett. Thank you so much for being here with us. You look beautiful.
Thank you. So I'm actually a former. 2016 was the year that I was crowned. So a little bit aged since then, but I guess you could still use the word beauty.
Does that mean you're an old woman now?
I think I'm more just wiser.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
And what do you have in your lap here?
Yes,
Yes. So I brought my crown from when I won, and I actually have a ring that is the exact same replica of this. And then I brought my very dirty, has a lot of makeup stains. It has even some spray tan on it. So it definitely needs a wash. But I brought my goodies with me so that you guys could all see it for those of you watching.
Can I see the crown? I want to see how heavy it is. Is it super heavy?
Sure. Yeah, actually, no. It's not heavy, but the longer you wear it, you'll find that there's an indent in your head.
Is it real, like diamonds? You need to cash this out.
Sure. Yeah, I think so. We'll say that.
Wow. That's crazy. It is.
It's kind of heavy.
I feel like if it was on my head for a long period of time.
Well, let's find out. Why don't you wear it during
the whole time?
The show.
Do you is it on, you go straight or you go to the side?
Straight on. And towards the back of the crown of your head. Right there.
Okay, so I've got a question. What do you have to do to actually earn this title?
Yes.
That's a really good question. So when competing for a state title in the USA system, you have to go through a series of competitions. You do an interview, you do a swimsuit, evening gown, and then if you make it past those rounds, you'll even do on-stage questions and things of that sort. So there's no talent in the USA organization, thank gosh. I don't know what mine would be, maybe licking my elbow or something of that sort. But
can we please get footage of you doing what? I don't even.
Well, and she has a boyfriend, so please don't write into the show asking about
Her to lick
Cassy
anything.
with
Don't do
her
that.
with her talents.
Yeah.
So I have a couple questions because this is totally out of my realm. And I'm super impressed, by the way, with your interview skills. Even just now, talking to you, a lot of our guests have been kind of nervous. Bill still even gets nervous, so maybe you could prep him a little bit. But talk about how long do you? So once you're in, you've made it to, I guess you call it. You've made it to the finals. You've made it to the what do you call that?
So
You're actually to the competition part of it.
So that starts day one.
Okay.
Everybody makes it to the swimsuit evening gown portion.
Anybody that wants to sign up.
Yes.
Okay.
So typically there's a fee of some sorts. My very first pageant that I won, of course, I just entered on a whim, not by choice, but very glad to this day that I did it because I ended up winning. That actually entered my way into the state pageant. So a lot of pageants that you win are preliminary pageants and they just pay your way to the next bigger pageant. So that's how a lot of that is. But anybody who wants to join is really welcome.
So what kind of timeline and commitment from the time you say, hey, I want to do a pageant to being crowned like you were?
Well, my first pageant, I had maybe 3 months, but there was no swimsuit portion in that. So I guess that's kind of why
I'll sign up for that one.
Yeah.
I went so quickly, but I would say a good year is a good time frame for people to give themselves, get in the right mindset, get in the right shape, whether that's 75 hard or whether that's just you being comfortable in your own skin. Just probably a year time frame.
Okay.
And what does the prep look like? Like, do you have to meet with people that are helping you to speak eloquently and with your interviewing skills? What's the 9 to 5 for that? Or is it even a 9 to 5?
I wouldn't say it's a 9 to 5. Whenever I was training for my pageant, I met with my pageant coach probably once a month. We went over interview skills. We went over walking. We went over wardrobe, just all kinds of things like that. But it's a daily 24-hour job. You have to work out every day. You have to make sure you're eating and staying fueled because as Sarah knows, the more you work out, the more food you need to fuel your body. No, that wasn't a fat joke or anything.
I didn't take it that way until you said it wasn't a fat joke.
I have a question. Did you say you had a coach?
I knew you heard that.
You have a coach for this?
I did, and he was actually a man. So that's actually impresses people.
Wait a second. The statement you just said was he was actually a man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I did say that.
The coach was a man.
The coach was a man. And he's actually the one that nudged me in the pageant direction. He said, hey, do you want to do a pageant? And I said, it's not really my thing. And next thing I knew, I was competing in a pageant. So
that's awesome.
I thank him for my entire journey.
That's really cool.
Great.
Yes.
What all did he... So another thing that I'm thinking is that now pageants are probably different than what they were before because of things like the internet and social media and stuff like that. So along with teaching you how to train your body and stuff like that, are there like do's and don'ts, things that you're not allowed to do on social media, or what kind of things?
Of course, yes. And so especially whenever I was Miss West Virginia Teen USA, I was a teen. So if I was going to a charity event where there's alcohol and things of that sort, even though I wasn't participating in the drinking, it's really frowned upon just to have it in the photos because then you're associating yourself with that and people can assume whatever they want. So making sure that there's nothing in your photo that could be taken the wrong way or steered towards whatever someone wants to believe is really just eye-opening because you don't realize the things that are in the backgrounds of photos until you're actually looking for it.
Right.
So,
and I think there's people out there like looking for that kind of stuff,
Of course.
Especially they see your success and they're like, what can I do to ruin her?
Right.
They actually have a name, don't they? Aren't they called Karens?
Yes. Karens and Kevins. Sorry if your name is actually Karen and Kevin. Please like and subscribe.
And we had a question too, because Jaisy and I were talking about this. Like, so you get the title, but then what happens? Like, what does that mean for you? What does that mean schedule-wise? Do you make appearances? What does that look like?
So for my specific title, I had maybe 7 appearances that I was required to attend throughout the year. But I knew this was a once in a lifetime thing, so I didn't want to stop at those 7 that were required. So I was researching all over the web, trying to find events, organizations, charity events, school activities that I could just go out and participate in. My mom and I traveled, I think it was 11,000 miles that year, and I did over 121 appearances that I had scheduled myself.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So
And those, did you also have like an additional job with that, or does this become your job?
So I was working throughout high school because that's when my title was. I was in high school. I was a senior, playing sports, attending every day at high school. I had never missed a day of school until my senior year when I won. And then, of course, if there were events that I just couldn't pass up the opportunity, I was going because I knew that was going to further my career, my future, my passion, everything. But really, it's a job. It's a job that you don't get paid for. But Bill,
sounds like real estate.
Yes. Bill, please don't make me do work for no money. But you get paid in other ways. It's really rewarding.
So let me ask you about that. So I've seen you give back, even here in Texas, to people who are entering pageants.
Oh, good enunciation.
Yes, yeah, I'm working on that. And you're still involved in it to some degree.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So whenever I gave up my title in 2016, I knew that I wanted to continue that relationship with pageants, whether it be me participating in them or me volunteering my time. So when I moved to Texas, I became really good friends with the director of Miss Dallas and Miss Dallas Teen USA. So every year I go to the pageants. Did I say pageants or pageants?
You said it right.
I heard pageants.
But I volunteer my time helping the girls backstage, getting ready, making sure they're on stage, looking well, tucking in their little straps that are hanging out, things of that sort, just because I want to give back to what I've gotten throughout the years. And sometimes I'll go to appearances with those title holders. I know when we had our Boots and Barbecue event a few years ago, Miss Dallas actually came to it. So I actually had that relationship to say, hey, do you mind if she comes to an appearance with our company and do things with us, just because I loved those opportunities as a title holder that I wanted to give that back to someone else.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So what, like, do you age out of the pageant world? Like, I don't want to like make it, because you're still super young. So it sounds so bad to be like, so do you get to a certain age and it's like, all right, you're like a geriatric pageant person?
They have that.
Okay, well.
They do.
Look, Bill.
Bill's like, I tried to make it into the preliminaries. They wouldn't even see me.
Well, there's an age limit on a lot of that, right? And then if you're married or not, right?
Yes.
Doesn't that kind of change things?
Yes. So if in the USA system, you age out at 27. So I'm approaching that. Like I said, there's a year prep. So that 27 is coming way sooner than I am expecting. But there are pageants, not in the USA system, but other systems for once you're married. I don't think that's my cup of tea, but
the marriage or continuing after 27, I have a question, because you said you have enough time here to still enter into another one.
Yes.
So do we have an announcement coming about anything coming up in Cassy's life involving maybe another contest?
do you know something that I don't know?
Oh, I don't know. That's
So
what I'm asking.
would you be able to enter as Miss Texas, or do you have to be like, because you're a resident here now, right? You finally got your license changed after 4 years. So
Yes.
are you allowed to enter that way, or?
Yes, I can register for Texas now that I live here and a resident, but I enjoy my career, and I know that with pageants, it is a full-time job. So I don't know if I'm at the place that I want to take on that and a full-time job, or just leave the memories and the experiences I have as they are and just give back in that way. So I haven't really decided yet if I want to do pageants. If I don't, I will say my dad is on me every day. He wants me to do pageants. He loves them. He gets into them.
That's cool.
He has a tie that has my face all over it.
That is so sweet.
So he gets very competitive. Yes.
That's awesome that it's your dad that's pushing you, because a lot of times you see
It's
the
the
moms in the the toddlers and tiaras and all that stuff.
Right.
It's
Maybe
the mom
we
that's
could
pushing them.
help. I might know your employer, and maybe we could work
Build
on that a
some
little
strings.
bit. Yeah.
Well, and I do have one comment, because if you're gonna do it in Texas, you're gonna have to get your hair a little bigger.
Yeah.
I know.
For sure. Like get a little tease comb. See this? Like this is just because I didn't have a lot of time, but it had to have at least 3 inches.
Yeah. The bigger the hair, the closer to God.
For sure.
You know, that's changed a lot since my first pageant. Because my first pageant, I had really big hair, and you see more girls going more straight or more like less tease.
The modern look.
But I do like the big hair.
Me too.
I do.
Me too. I feel like it's a staple in like you have to. I don't think they'll let you in if not. That's
We
probably a
should-
new event.
We should make a like a Century 21 judge-fied
I bet we could do that.
pageant and have. I'm sure we have so many beautiful people that are in our our company that would. I mean,
Well, and Bill
Cassy
has
probably.
great experience in heels and
He could be the
dresses.
coach.
He does. Oh my gosh.
That's
If
true.
we can find the picture, we really need to put this
there
on
are
for the
plenty
world
of
to
pictures
see.
of Bill dressing as
Didn't
a
a
woman.
magazine pick it up?
Well,
I happen to remember you being really upset because a real estate magazine
I was in
came
the centerfold of it.
Oh my gosh.
Don't be this broker.
The centerfold folded out like 4 times. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah. So you said anybody could enter, right?
Yeah.
But I'm a little past 27,
And you're married.
and I'm married.
And you're
Oh,
married.
well, next time.
But so there's this magazine, it's like a circulation or whatever that comes out once a month or whatever, and I'm not going to name names because I don't remember, but
I'm not going to name names because I have
because
none.
I literally don't remember. But it shows up on our door one day in the office, and someone's flipping through it, and they're like, "Oh my gosh." And they bring it to Bill, and Bill literally, like, his mouth opens, the magazine drops, and he was like, "I did not give anyone permission to use this photo." And I'm like, "It was on
This
Facebook.
is defamation.
It was on Facebook. Like, you put it out there. People can do what they want to with it now."
I didn't put it
So,
on
do you
Facebook.
want to tell us what this picture looks like, or do you want us to post it?
It's got to be the ugliest woman in the world. So let's just
I thought you were hot as a girl.
let's just preface it. We were
butterface.
it was Halloween, okay, and we were having a little.
It was a very scary Halloween.
Yeah, it was a scary Halloween. We were having a national speaker come into the office and speak. And there must have been 100 people in here, maybe.
Yeah. at
And I'm
least.
sitting in the front row, and the speaker
With his legs crossed.
Yeah, the speaker hasn't recognized me yet, but I have to introduce the speaker. So she's standing there waiting for me to show up to introduce her, and the room's full. And I do remember standing up and start talking, and she's like, "Oh my God."
So I have a question though, because I was very disturbed at how well you walked in the hills. I mean, these were not like wedges. These
This
were
is some-
like,
Yeah.
I
And
would look like a baby fawn, and Bill was walking with confidence.
Yes. I walk like a dinosaur in
Me too.
heels like that. And Tom is nodding his head because he knows it's true.
But Bill was like,
Bill was beauty. He was great.
I think he could have ran like a 5K.
Do you have
It was
something
fine.
to share with us, Bill?
No, let's get back on
This isn't about me,
Cassy.
guys. Cassie, what skill sets from pageantry have you learned that has helped you now as you have transitioned your career?
You know, I think that's a really good question, mainly because it's not just one thing. There's a lot of different characteristics and attributes that you gain from pageants, and I think the number one thing is just this right here. In 2015, when I started my first pageant, I was shaking in my boots doing something like this. And as Bill, someone who's interviewed me before, he knows that, or maybe he probably doesn't think this, and I just think this about myself, but he knows that, like, I'm comfortable in that situation. It's because of pageants. And it's the fact that I can go into a room not knowing a single person, and I'm not afraid to talk to people and introduce myself and things of that sort. So I'm not afraid to promote things that I feel very passionately about, which is really important, especially as a title holder. So there's a lot of different things. And if there's anyone out there who is contemplating doing a pageant, I highly recommend you do, not only for the reward, but for the future that you could grow and learn and just develop over time.
Well, and I'll say this too, because in your age, and especially younger, and I'm not trying to generalize at all, but there's a lot of kids with social skills right now, or
Yes.
lack of social skills. And I was telling Jaisy, I was at a restaurant the other day, and maybe I'm just becoming a creepy old lady or something, I don't know, but I walked up to this kid. He looked 12, he was probably 16, I don't know. And I said, he was putting a pizza out. We were at Cece's. I'm sorry to admit that, but we're at Cece's. He puts the pizza down. I was like, "Oh, that looks so good." And he like didn't even acknowledge my presence. And I was like, "Man, how are you today?" And nothing. And I was like, maybe he can't hear me. But then like some other kid was talking to him in the back and he was having a full on conversation. And I was like, okay, I don't know if something's wrong with me.
And then I had told Sarah, I was like, I'm sure that if you found him on Facebook or Instagram, he was probably looked like he was the life of the party, coolest dude, because they're so different behind a phone than they are in the face-to-face.
Well, they have the protection of the screen.
Right.
And the protection to say what they want to without fear of what's going to happen. But what I can truly say about Cassy is I've watched her because she does work for us. So she does some teaching. She has stood up in front of many, many people and taught live classes, and the reviews are better than almost any instructor we've had. They're very
really good.
Yeah,
They're
good.
very good. And you know, she now does webinars with me and in some cases does them by herself, and she does them fantastic.
So, do you guys know what time it is?
Have no idea.
It's time for
Tales from the Lockbox.
Okay, so we will give you a chance, Cassy, if you have one that you want to share. It can be, I know you do a lot of Zoom because you do a lot of training. So if you have something like that you want to share, I'm going to share a really short story just because it makes me laugh. Poop is funny to me. So this is a poop story. I was showing a house and some really good clients of ours, they've done multiple deals with us. At the time, their kid was pretty small. She was still in diapers, kind of walking-ish, and so they put the baby down on the floor, and I don't know if the diaper, and y'all parents could probably explain this to me, I don't know if the diaper was just low quality or if the load was too big for it, I don't know, but a little bitty turd came out of the diaper and like rolled across the floor in this house that we were showing, and it's vacant, there's no paper towels, there's no anything, so she went and got the diaper bag and cleaned it up, but there was this cute little turd on the top.
A cute turd.
I mean,
from someone that has had to pick up turds from the floor.
I've seen turds that were not as cute as this one.
Didn't you have an experience with turds this morning?
Yeah, that was projectile vomit. But yeah, from someone who's had to pick up poop from the floor. This is a pro tip for any parent. If you think your kid is potty trained, he is not. You need to wait. You need to wait a couple more months, test it out, keep that pull up on, girl. Don't go on with your best self. Keep that pull up on for a couple more months. Just in case. Just pro tip.
Okay, so now that we've talked about poop, we can check that here. I'm going to check that off our list. Okay, do you have anything, Cassy? Anything that you think is funny or that's happened or something
Even a
crazy?
pageant snafu. I'm sure there's some crazy stuff behind the scenes.
You know, I'm kind of embarrassed that I don't have really any crazy stories. The only one that I can really think of in the pageant world is, as I had mentioned, I was in school full-time while doing my title and playing sports as well. So I had a photo shoot in Atlanta the very next day. So my mom and I, right after volleyball, got in the car and drove straight through the night. So rounding up, it's getting close to our time for my photo shoot, and I realized my hair is so greasy from playing volleyball. We haven't had time to stop and wash it. We weren't about to get a hotel just for a shower. So we actually pulled over at a truck stop, and I washed my hair in the sink and blow-dried it with those hand dryers. But it was the best my hair's ever looked for a photo shoot, so I was not mad.
That is awesome. I'm going to have to try that.
Did you say volleyball?
Yes.
Do they lower the nets in West Virginia?
But I was the libero. They didn't need to. I was all the way in the back playing all the digging balls.
if y'all don't see her shoes, they're probably something Bill could walk in, but not me. But they're probably, I don't know, 6 inches.
Whip them up here on the table.
Be careful. This is a kid show. Yes. It's really not a kid show. But, okay. What was that? I just heard you go. Okay. So that's our Tales from the Lockbox. And Bill has a little segment to round us up here.
Yeah, it's called Level Up. And, you know, I want to challenge everyone to get away just a little bit and disconnect. And so here's my challenge. All too often, we go to bed at night, and the last thing that we do before we shut our eyes off is we look at our email and we see what's going on in the world, and then we shut down our phone, we go to sleep. We leave the phone right next to the bed. And when we wake up in the morning, before we do anything, before we say something to our wife or a significant other or whatever we do, we grab the phone and we look at it. And here's my challenge. When you're doing that, what you're allowing to happen is other people to control your attitude and your thoughts in your day. So here's my challenge. Have a stop time, whether that's 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night. Maybe it's later for you, maybe it's earlier. I don't know. It doesn't matter, but have a stop time and commit to not looking at electronics after that stop time, but take it one step further. Don't take your phone to bed.
I've heard isn't there like electromagnetic waves or something that's supposed to interrupt your... Have you heard that?
I have heard that. I've heard all kinds of things about...
It's like sleeping next to a microwave.
Yeah. And I don't know if any of that's true. But I do know that the worst thing in the world that I can do, because I've been doing this for years, not looking at my phone after 8 o'clock at night and not looking at it until a certain time in the morning. Now, I do get up very early, but I still don't touch my devices for about an hour after I get up. And my challenge to you is, under no circumstances, look at it after a certain time at night or when you first get up. Do your morning routine, your exercise, your Bible study, whatever you're going to do. Then grab your phone and look at it, because then you're in control of your day and you're not letting some angry client or coworker or your boss or Candy Crush or going out on the farm in Farmsville, if that's still a thing.
Yeah, I haven't heard Farmsville in a long time.
Well, either have I. I used to have agents that would be playing it during the day, though.
Agents.
Agents, not agents. And they said that maybe there were some Asian agents, but they were definitely agents that would be playing Farmville during the day, and it would be posting, and they were telling their clients how busy they were. And I'm like, stop doing that.
Well, and we actually have a few more minutes. So we normally ask our guests a couple questions. So Jaisy, I don't know if you want to ask.
Yeah, I was going to ask what are you reading? What's your favorite podcast, book? What are you listening to?
So reading isn't something that I've always done, and it's something I'm trying to work on just because I do see the importance behind reading and I want to start reading more. But during COVID, my Bible study and we got together and read this book called Seamless, and it's by, I believe, Angie Smith, and it's about understanding the Bible as a complete story and learning the chronological order of it, because we all know that the Bible wasn't written in any specific order. It's just the books of the Bible. So really understanding and developing and growing in my spiritual knowledge was really fascinating read for me.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to check that out, because I love
Jesus.
I love Jesus. I love the Lord. And one thing that I had noticed, like in being plugged into my church and stuff like that, is whenever we do get someone who's like a new believer and they're like, oh, I want to read the Bible, the first thing is don't start with Genesis. Don't start there. Start with like Matthew, Mark, Gospels, where it's kind of, it's more like a story where you're hearing different things. And so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna
start with numbers. Yes. Always start with numbers.
And what's your favorite restaurant?
So I'm a big foodie. I love food, love trying different restaurants, but I would have to say right now my favorite one is Lonesome Dove, and it's a Tim Love restaurant in Fort Worth.
I've been there, and it is absolutely fantastic.
So good.
Anytime I can go there with Ann, I'll go there. It is great.
Well, and you and Ann tried a new restaurant yesterday, right?
We did. I got to tell you, in Mansfield, we tried the Vault, and that's part of the El Primo setup, Todd Tenori's group. The Vault, it was absolutely fantastic. And I just got to tell you, they have an appetizer, lamb lollipops. Oh my goodness.
I have to try
they are meat so on a stick for adults. Good. So good.
Anything on a stick is worth eating, right? Corny dogs, sausage on a stick.
I'm not even sure how to answer this question. So
I'm actually going to take it from you, Bill. So we're talking about food. I'm going to share a pageant experience with you really quick. One of the pageants that I competed in was fairs and festivals. So it's the biggest pageant in the state of West Virginia. There's 80-some girls. But the thing about this pageant that's very different than the state pageant is you have to do a 30-second promo of your fair or festival that you're representing. So my fair that I was representing was the Three Rivers Festival. And we actually have a pepperoni roll eating contest where some of...
A what?
A pepperoni roll eating contest.
What's a pepperoni roll?
Oh, stop it. You know, right?
Do y'all know what
I've never heard of a pepperoni roll.
Oh my gosh, guys. It's literally just bread.
Is it salami?
That's what I'm thinking. Just pepperoni wrapped in bread, and it's I'll have to bring some next week.
Wow.
You do have to.
Interesting.
Yes. Do they even have that in Texas anywhere?
Probably.
Pepperoni roll.
I think you're going to have it shipped in, because I've never seen it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we just have to do a 30-second little promo about our fair festival. So I did mine revolving around the whole pepperoni roll thing.
I thought you were going to say something like,
we need to have a pepperoni roll eating contest here in the office.
Have you been to the Texas State Fair yet?
I have.
Okay, did it change your life?
I feel like it sets the bar high.
Well, it was last time I went. It was super crowded.
Yeah, it was chaotic.
Yeah, it's a lot of
It
people.
can be
Did you get a
overwhelming.
Fletcher
It can be
corny dog?
overwhelming.
I didn't.
You went to the fair and didn't get a Fletcher
I
corny
know.
dog?
I couldn't decide if I wanted that or the big old chicken leg.
Fried butter.
Oh my god.
Like every year
You
they
can
have
do it all.
this-
You're at the fair.
do all the
They
things.
don't have pepperoni rolls.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
that I know
We'll
of.
have to bring those in next time.
Well, but they always do like this big competition of who can fry weird things, and it's like fried butter, fried Oreos.
I wonder if we should put Ann's potato salad in there. Fried
up.
Ann's potato salad.
You can fry anything.
We're gonna have some of that
amazing.
Monday.
That
You know,
sounds really good.
she's bringing it up here Monday.
Nice.
Oh,
Potato salad, not fried.
Lastly, Cassy, if you could shout out to anybody or anyone, any organization, who you want to say what's up to.
This one is not hard for me at all, and it's both of my parents, Carla and Denny. They have been my rock forever, and especially this year, we've had a lot going on in our family. So I just appreciate that even though they're not together, they're together for my sister and I, and they can always come together, support us, encourage us. So I just really appreciate their continued support all the time.
and Daddy, don't cut off the insurance.
All right, guys, that's all we've got for you. Thank you so much for joining us. pbandjaisy.com for all of the links. Be sure to like and subscribe. And with that, we out.
We out. Thanks, Cassy.
Thanks.
Just had a chat, talk this and that with PB and Jaisy.